On this episode of Home Dad Chat,
He completed the 3.1 miles. It was amazing. I mean, just the emotion from the dads that stayed around the finish line to see him finish, from Jeremy himself. I call myself a race director now, and I felt super proud. This is why I do it.
And I
yeah,
think it was his first race that he actually completed as his first 5K was in St. Louis, actually his hometown. So he was able to do
Oh
that in his
yeah.
hometown at Home
yep.
DadCon. And honestly, it was not an easy course. It was a lot of hills. We didn't suspect that there were going to be a lot of hills at the Arch Park, but there were quite a few.
Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Hope you've had a great week. Danny and I were just jawing it up before we hit record and figured we might want to actually,
Bring you
have
guys
something
in.
for,
Right.
yeah, bring you guys into the fold, that kind of thing. That's what it was, yeah.
Brock is incredibly funny when he's not recording, y'all. It's amazing. I know it's not really what you expect from Brock.
Ha! Oh my goodness. Yikes.
But we missed that good content, man.
We're going to talk about the weather today? Is that what it is? We're going to talk about the weather? Oh, about spit take. Got him. Got him, everybody. Watch the YouTube video. You'll see it. It happened. Totally happened.
Yeah, no, we're not going to talk about the weather.
That was a good reversal, by the way. I just
We're
want to
talk
put
about
that out
something
there.
else. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
So, yeah, talking about just kind of things going on. I got to spend a good 24 hours ish with Matt Lofi and Sean Diddy
Oh, yeah.
all Friday evening and pretty much all day Saturday. And it was a blast. Actually, the funny part about it is that we were talking at one of the breweries we were at, and I was like, Sean, I was like, you should come up to Home Dad Con. And he's like, oh, could I be involved with the breakout sessions and do something in the mornings with the guys or whatever? And I could basically have that as a work thing and come up. And I was like, I'm sure we can possibly talk about something.
Let's clarify though, for those who don't know Sean, but possibly as well as we do, he is definitely
True.
a podcaster. He's the Heckle of Heckle and Jekyll of that crew.
He is.
And while a fantastic person when it comes to podcasting and making drinks, he is also a counselor, psychologist. So
Yeah, he's a licensed counselor. He's really good at his job. He's a behavioral psychologist, works with a lot of kids, that kind of thing.
yeah,
So
done a lot of stuff with children
Yeah.
and I don't know any details, of course, because it's not something that you would share, but definitely somebody who's out there making the world a better place.
very much for sure. So had a great time hanging out with them. Of course, when you go to spend time with them, cocktails are always on the menu. And he was making some really cool cocktails for us while we were hanging out and got to go fishing.
You at Sean's house?
I was at Sean's house. Yeah.
So were you in the new speakeasy?
Yes, the Rusty Lantern.
Yes,
Got to
great.
spend some time in the Rusty
Yeah,
Lantern. It was
yeah.
fun. So did
I'm
that.
a little jealous.
Yeah, it was a good time. He's got some more things to do with it, but it's definitely a nice, cool man cave type place to sit in and enjoy a drink. And you can open up the garage and enjoy a cigar type of deal. So his dogs are always around. So that's fun too. But
Yeah.
yeah, we went down to the river and did some fishing, smoked some cigars while doing that, and went to a farmer's market and bought tubs of pickle chips that were soaked in things like honey mustard or in horseradish or spicy ranch. And you just eat them with a
Spicy
fork
ranch.
or your fingers. What's that? Spicy
Sorry.
ranch?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's just the whitest thing I think I've ever heard. I'm just going to say
Hey,
it.
man, that's what you get.
No, it's like spicy mayonnaise. I mean, it's just like, what? Why
Yeah.
would you use ranch, which is a coolant, basically? Sorry to all of my Wisconsin friends, neighbors, family, etc. I don't appreciate ranch like I should.
I was gonna
Just
say, I
gonna
think you
admit
just upset every
Just
single
don't.
child
I
that
don't.
listens to our show with their dads right now, because
Yep.
ranch goes on everything.
Yeah. Well, I will say not in my house.
Well, fine. Okay, just
We're
be
a
the oddball
ketchup
out.
family, sir.
Oh, okay. I see. I get it now. Well, hey, to switch gears a little bit from that, today we have two special guests coming on with us. We've got Kyle Denny. and Chris Griffin. Chris, of course, is the president of our wonderful organization, and Kyle is also on the board with us,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, he's on the board with you. And Kyle is an avid runner. And when I mean avid runner, I mean this guy runs miles that those of us would just rather do in our dreams because it hurts to hear stories of how far and where he's
100
run.
kilometer.
Yeah,
What is that? 100K. What does that even mean?
we're down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon and back up to the other side, the other rim. Ugh, no, thank you. But they have such a passion for running, the two of them, that they are actually the heads for the Dad Run 5K. And so we're going to talk with them about what that entails and routes and what to expect and get you all ready if you haven't signed up to sign up so that you can also be a part of this really cool event. Like Danny said earlier, he does his not on the day at the convention because he's busy all the time. So that right there is another little thing for you to know is that you don't have to be at the convention to participate in the 5K, which I think is also another great thing to consider as if you can't make it to the convention. But we will be back here in just a moment with Kyle and Chris.
So the Dad's Run 5K is coming up, and it's about a lot more than just hitting the pavement. It's about building a movement. We're hosting it at Home DadCon this year in Chicago, and if you can't make it, you can still join us virtually from your own neighborhood. It's for the whole family, dads, moms, kids, walkers, it doesn't matter. The best part is that your entry supports the Fathers Overcoming Adversity Fund, helping families right when they need it most. So come be a part of it. Head over to @home.org to sign up or just check the show notes for the link.
All right, and we are back, and we have our guests, Chris Griffin and Kyle Denny, the heads of the Dad 5K. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, man. Kyle, thanks for getting up early in the morning with us for this. I know the sun's probably not even up where you're at. Maybe it is.
It was, yeah, short sleep.
Although as a runner, though, I mean, you sometimes get up and beat the sun up? I mean, honestly.
I used to always be that way, but I'd say in the last 2 years, especially once my kids became school age, I decided that it's not worth getting up to beat the heat. I just wait till they go to school, and
Yeah.
I've become more of a heat adapted runner.
More power to you. I mean, there you go. You get some endurance for you there. Chris, what's running like for you, man? Are you similar to that?
No, I kind of go when I can. I'm more of an opportunistic runner. Whether the kids are in school, I go then, or after dinner, I can go for a run. It really kind of depends on how I feel. I've kind of gotten out of the practice of saying I need to run at this time because sometimes I don't run my best when I just force it. So I go whenever I feel good.
Sweet. Hey, so I'm very excited about the 5K this year. I think it's probably in one of the coolest places weather-wise that we've had it in. I want to think because did we do it in Milwaukee? Did we?
Milwaukee was the first year.
Okay, Milwaukee
Yep.
was the first year, so that was definitely cool. So we're on the second kind of coolest spot, then I would say for sure. Tell us a little bit about why the Dad 5K even got started and what is it supporting?
Yeah, I guess the Dads Run 5K started because I got up to run every morning at the conventions, and I started to, as I came to more and more conventions, I started asking people like, hey, you should get up really early and go run with me. And I started to have a whole bunch, not a bunch of people, but more join. And in Phoenix, I had, me and Chris were talking about this last night, I had 6 guys out with me. And yeah, so we decided to kind of make it official and also help raise money for the Fathers Overcoming Adversity Fund. So doing a little good when we can.
Just so our listeners, sorry to interrupt you, Carl, but just so our listeners know, the Fathers Overcoming Adversity Fund is something that the National At-Home Dad Network created to help fathers overcoming adversity. You know, it's very important for us to remember that we're trying to help our membership in any way that we can. And one of them is I believe we've had some very difficult times for a few of our members that we've helped. And I don't know if you want to go into that specifically, but I do think it's good that our audience knows this is something that we do as a part of our organization. It's something that you're doing to help our membership directly. I think that's very important to say.
Yeah, thank you, Danny. Yes, the Fathers Overcoming Adversity was started when James Lopez had a traumatic brain injury, and the org did something to help him and his family in their time of need, and so that was the birth of the fund. And since then, it has helped over a dozen families. Last year alone, we gave out about $1,100 among 6 families. Okay, currently is the main fundraiser for it, and we are definitely working on ways to get more information out about the fund. Currently, the only way to kind of, I guess, apply for it is to talk to a board member or somewhere. But yeah, I mean,
Yep.
Chris, do you have anything to add?
It's kind of similar to the scholarship fund. You can either self-nominate, you can write an email to the board at homedad.org, or someone else can nominate you. And then we review everyone that submits a request, and we kind of make a decision as a committee and then bring it to the board, and it has to have 2/3 vote to disperse those funds. So yes, the main fundraising for the Fathers Overcoming Adversity is the 5K. Kind of similar to the scholarship fund with Beer Share. That's their main kind of like way of earning money for the scholarships to people who attend at home DACon. So this is, you can always donate. You can go into the same area on our website as the scholarship, and Fathers Overcoming Adversity is right below it. So this isn't the only way you can give back by running virtually or running in person. You can always donate anytime you can, as much as you can.
Thank you, Chris. I will say too, I'm not a runner. I run when I have to. I have running shoes. That's about it. But I recognize what you're doing. And I think about Chicago for me personally, for whatever reason, every time it's a big city, I worry about getting out on the streets and running because I don't do it very often. I've never lived in a city. And I imagine the planning that it takes. How do you select your course? How do you handle traffic and all of that stuff?
So in every city we've been, we try to find somewhere that isn't interrupted by streets. We try to find pathways, popular walkways. So Chicago has the Lakefront Trail that we're going to use, but we typically find our routes in all our cities with local dads. Just like with Home Dad Con, the local dads, the boots on the ground, they do a lot of work.
Yep. Dave Snitchler has been a big help with that, designing the run and helping us map that out. Also, Tom Clancy and Mike Van Gompel have been guys who have been
Yeah.
very helpful and kind of giving us an idea of what's close to the hotel and what's easier, like Kyle said, so we don't have to worry about stopping traffic for guys across the street and it's safe. So nobody gets run over on the 5K. We make sure of that.
It's one of the first rules.
Yeah.
One of the first rules of
And this is definitely more of a grassroots type event. Can we cuss on this podcast?
Hell
Oh
no.
yeah.
Okay. There's a term in the running world called a fat ass event, which just means that there's no official timing mat. You just,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's all me.
you pay a small fee and you get to run with people. That's the gist of the Dads Run 5K in person, is that it's all about fun. There's no official timing mat. We don't have the funds to hire police to stop traffic anywhere, so you have to obey all walk signs and all that. Keep your head on a swivel. But
See, I just love it. Rule 1 of Dad's 5K is you must survive Dad's 5K. It just makes it so more brutal than, no, we just mean stop at stop signs. You have to just
yeah,
follow traffic laws. Yeah.
I love
not
that.
get killed. That's good. Now, this is your 3rd year doing it, right?
Fourth.
4th? So it was Milwaukee, San Antonio. What am I missing?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Yeah. I'm missing a lot more than that, obviously, but yeah, St. Louis. Cool. And I feel like it's getting bigger every year. Is that what you've seen?
Definitely. I mean, I think our first year, we do have a virtual option, and that is actually where we get a lot of our runners. So we probably had around 20 dads in the first year, and it's grown to over 40.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I love too that it's because you've had multiple dads who've never run before, never done a 5K at all, and who chose to come to the convention and do it with you. Tell me about some of those experiences. I know, especially in San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio, we had 3 first timers. One of them was Jeremy Haston. He had contacted or posted on the socials early in the year that he was going to run, and he had never run before. So it was awesome. He He did great. Him and Arvis were
I
chugging
want to
along.
stop you real quick. They did St. Louis. That was their first one.
Yes, you're right. You're right. It was St. Louis.
Yeah, but still, and I
But I
just
get what you're saying. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
cover Jeremy Haston a little bit more about him. I don't know if you want to talk about how he personally, his physical fitness and such. I would. I think it's a story he wants to tell people, but
Definitely. Well, I'm not sure of like the whole weight journey, but definitely Jeremy's a larger guy. He lost a ton of weight, and running just became a part of his. Well, he definitely started walking a ton. I know, and
Yep.
then that walking he started running some, and so at the 5K he completed the 3.1 miles. It was amazing. I mean, just the emotion from the dads that stayed around the finish line to see him finish, from Jeremy himself,
Mhm.
and I call myself a race director now, and
yes,
I felt super proud. This is why I do it.
And I
Yeah.
think it was his first race that he actually completed as his first 5K was in St. Louis, actually his hometown. So he was able to do
Oh
that in his
yeah.
hometown at Home
Yep.
DadCon. And honestly, it was not an easy course. It was a lot of hills. We didn't suspect that there were going to be a lot of hills at the Arch Park, but there were quite a few. At the end, I'm like, why did we choose this route? But we all made it through. We all survived.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
and then Jeremy he stayed at it. He came back in San Antonio, and even though San Antonio with the high heat and everything, he beat his time from the year prior. So,
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Stepping up. And I have to say, a big part of the growth, basically year over year of what you've experienced, but also just the expansion of your community, right? I think it's one of the main points would be because of that, you're building it to run together. You're not building it to, we have to hit a time limit. This is my 5K run. I've got to get it under this. It's not about that so much. It's about getting out together and running. And I love that it's that sharing of your joy in that that's encouraging other dads and other people to step in and be a part of it. I think it's been fantastic, the community you're creating.
I would say most of the dads have a Gar or Koros, and everyone's starting their watch and timing it because, I mean, if you don't track
You
it,
still want to, yeah.
but no one is really racing. If when you're out there on the course, you'll see there's groups, 5 dads here, 3 here. No one runs alone. In fact, when I finished in St. Louis, I ran back to Arvis and finished the race with him.
I was just going to
Nice.
say that's the one thing guys, when they finished, ran back to where other guys were and helped encourage them along. Yeah, you with Arvis. And then there was, I think Matt Strain went back to cheer on Jeremy or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, there were guys that were. And it was cool too, because like some of us just spanned the way as they were coming to the finish line also too. So they kind of got to run through like a tunnel of people cheering for them. So that was cool too to see.
Yeah, so I think me and Chris try to get the message across that, like, it's not a race, it is an event to get in the brotherhood extra early in the morning and just be around dads, be in an encouraging environment. Start your day off with a little exercise, and then you get to hit the free breakfast at the hotel.
I'm
There
waiting
you
for
go.
that. I'm waiting for that time when you have just like the people that are out walking around that see you, and like all of a sudden they start cheering us on as we're running the course. I think that would be pretty wild to experience.
That
And
is a lot
so,
of fun.
yeah. So when you finish the race, what is it? What do you get? Because this is
Uh,
something I think it's important to talk about.
Definitely, because everyone receives a medal. I guess you could call it a participation trophy, but it's
That's
important.
not true. No, that because I mean, even at like the Flying Pig Marathon here in town, when you finish, you get a medal. Like
Yeah.
That's true.
for
You
doing it.
definitely earned your medal because
Agreed.
Yeah.
that is true. We don't do any race awards because, again, this is a fun run, and
And we all know it wouldn't be fair. You'd keep winning and we'd be mad at you.
technically I tied last year. Just
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Was it you? Was it you
No,
and Brandon Hamilton going head to head? Is that what it was?
Right.
No, it was me and Shane Ambro.
Oh, really?
okay.
Okay. Yeah. He was in good shape.
Yes.
yep. If you look at a promotion picture, it's Kyle and Shane holding hands as they cross the finish line.
Oh
Nice.
yeah, that's
So
right.
they did technically tie.
I love it.
If Brandon wanted to win, he could. But
But anyway,
We all
so
know
there's
we're just not going to put it on paper. We're not timing it and committing it, but we all know who'd win. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so you get
You get
the
the medal.
and then of course you're just immersed in the brotherhood right then. Everyone's hanging out at the finish line, high fives. If you don't mind a sweaty hug, people will give those. And then we usually have we have athletic beer, which is non-alcoholic, and water. And then this year we are working. There's going to be a few other items there like donuts, hopefully some fruit, and then we don't provide much because the hotel is just right upstairs.
Right,
Yep.
right.
And
yeah.
our awesome ex-president has been designing our medals since year one. So the first medal in Milwaukee was a medal, or not a medal, it was a wooden medal. And it was on the back of it was a bottle opener. So every year has been kind of unique. And the St. Louis one, if we have the design, we can share, but it's a silhouette of Kyle running under the arch. And it says St. Louis Dad's 5K. And then last year was the kind of the propel, kind of something similar to this, but it was like pink and yellow, and it said Dad's Run 5K in the eyeballs of the sugar skull. So every year, it's a very unique medal that's very specific to the city that we're visiting. So JHG has done a fabulous job designing that, and there will be an option for a T-shirt to purchase as well. Also, I like to mention that he is also designing a race bib that we're going to send out to the participants to have their kids design their number, like their race bib specifically, so they can bring it with them and wear that while they're on the 5K with us.
Oh, neat.
That's really
That's
cool.
sweet.
I like that a lot.
And just real quick to add, because we need to do this, JHG is Jonathan Heisey Grove, just so in
Yep.
case.
Yes.
But yeah, and that shirt looks great. Of course, there are going to be a lot of people just listening to this, so they don't get to see it. But I thought it was a very good design, and I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all do every year. I think the T-shirts are for me because I see them more. The medal is something that which just I will get one probably this year, but I haven't run my 5K yet. But the T-shirt is something that just makes it more visible. And it's really cool because then you can look around and go, oh, yeah, we ran this race together, or I was there with you, or I saw when you did that. So I love, again, building that community of the runners inside our community.
And the T-shirts are available for purchase on the National Home Dad store.
Oh, nice.
Yep. This year's is not currently up yet, but you can always buy past years too.
It was going to be my question. Is it up now? What are we seeing? Do we have an ETA and when we could get that done?
We do not have a hard deadline yet, but we're hoping within the next 3 weeks.
That whole planning committee needs to get together.
I don't know who's leading it, but
Right.
I will talk to him.
Try to get to him. Okay. Right.
You just can't rush the creative process. Whatever John turns out is going to be amazing.
It's true. Yeah.
And then another thing we're launching this year on the website is the sponsor a runner option. And it was kind of Chris's brainchild, so I'll let him talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it can be intimidating. Somebody hears the word 5K, it's like, how many miles? 3? No, I'm not going to do that. If there's somebody that wants to run it, but that may not be able to afford it, or if you just want to sponsor someone who doesn't really know about it, but loves to run, there's an option to sponsor by paying for someone else to run for you. So you're still donating to the Fathers Overcoming Adversity Fund for the 5K to hopefully ensure someone that may not be able to run.
Nice.
And then if you were wanting to inquire if there were funds to cover the runner, you could email in to any board member. We will look at that request.
Nice.
That's really cool. I think that this sounds like you guys have really kind of honed in more just over the years. It's gotten to be more of a just well planned out type of thing, and I that's great. Because I think the first year a lot of guys were sort of in a place where they were like, okay, what is this going to actually be? This is just some dads throwing together a course, and just like, how accurate is it going to be? And I feel like it gets more and more legit every single year with just having people out there on the course, because there's quite a few of the dads that just are like, well, I'm not going to run it, but I'll go stand at a corner and make sure that nobody turns the wrong way and ends up in Albuquerque or something like that. No one needs to meet Bugs Bunny along the route, but just that whole side of things. And then that finish line, all the different aspects that you guys keep adding to it just makes it a fun event that for me, I enjoy doing it. I don't get out to run at the amount of time that you guys do sometimes, but to be able to just get out on the course and go and have a good time and not feel any judgment and just feel good about getting to support a great cause. And then at the same time, too, getting a little bit of exercise while hanging out at Home Dad Con.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Brock. That was great. I was gonna comment about the history, I guess, or learning curve of the race.
Yeah.
In Milwaukee, we did do some sidewalk chalk. That's and me and Greg Clapp went out early and did some sidewalk chalk. But I think we lost a handful of runners. Even me, the guy who helped design the course, I got lost. I ended up with a little more than 5K, but every year we've done a little better. Like I said, we kind of found our groove with the out and back format along a lakefront or something a little more simpler. That's what you can expect here. We didn't lose anyone last year, so 100%.
We didn't leave no dad behind, right?
Get an air tag on all of them.
But in all fairness, Kyle, it did rain in Milwaukee, so the sidewalk chalk kind of washed away. You guys marked it, but towards the end, I think I was one of the ones that got lost because I'm like, where do I go? I just followed Kyle. Y'all got lost together.
Yeah, I remember there was a whole group of us that were like that. We all got to one spot. And we're like, this is not where we're supposed to be at. And I had to do an about face. And we're like, oh, wait, that's the way.
But again, no one was lost alone. You were with.
Right. We had a group.
Nice.
There was a group of us together.
Nice.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
I like it. All about that community.
It definitely worked
And
out
we have
for sure.
tons of volunteers that's helped out. In St. Louis, we ran the Arch Grounds, which was a lot of twists and turns and different kind of choose your own adventure paths. We had some volunteers out there kind of just pointing which way to go. Jeffrey Rainbow was out there pointing for directions. And for the life of me, I can't remember, and I apologize who else was out there. But yeah, there's a ton of volunteers that love to help out. If you want to help with this year's coming up with directing traffic or handing out beverages or holding the finish line tape or taking pictures, just reach out. We are always looking for volunteers and help.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this year turns out. I'm looking forward to seeing what's in store for the other future ones. And I'm really excited too, just for the fact of the way that it's building the community, especially being able to help other dads. I know I had to step away for a moment, but did you get to talk about a little bit about how kind of what the funds have been used for in the past to maybe help some of the dads out?
Yep.
We definitely talked about the fund and the creation. It started with James Lopez. But I guess in recent years, we've given to a family who they had a fire and their house mostly burned down. And while we can't replace the house, we can definitely ease their troubles with providing groceries for a couple weeks or something. So yes, we've helped out a family like that. We had a dad who was just going through some self-care issues, and like we all do, we always put our family first. Or I shouldn't say we all, but it happens. And so we helped him out with some dental work he really needed that was falling behind. So there's a wide variety of problems that we help with. It can be a primary caregiver. So anything we can do to help.
That's great. I get guys every once in a while that they kind of contact through the scholarship fund for going to Home Dad Con, but sometimes you get a question through there as well of being like, if I'm dealing with this, is this the right place? Is this what you give a scholarship for? Or what is this what you can help for, whatever? And I know I've had to, on a few occasions, be like, actually, you need to talk to the guys who are doing Dads Overcoming Adversity. That's more in their realm of things. There's definitely guys that are out there. And there's quite a bit of vulnerability involved in a dad coming in and asking for that kind of help.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we added that to the organization as something to be able to help out, because I feel with the fact that a lot of the families are one income families. And if you run into a tough spot, it's okay, what do we do in this situation? It's nice to know that our organization has that build to be able to do that. That's, to me, that I think that is definitely one of the big new additions to the organization within the past just few years, that I see that being just something that just continues to grow. We have the scholarship, we have the beer share that does a lot of stuff for scholarship for getting guys to Home Dad Con, and just the way that works out, and more participants coming in and running is just going to add to that, and being able to even use that as a way to go to sponsors and be like, hey, this is what we're doing. would you like to just participate in a fashion of here's a check to be able to help out with other dads, or is it something where you want to be involved with the race itself completely? And I think that it's definitely this really cool snowball that's just going to continue to get bigger as the years go on.
Yep.
Mm.
And just to add to that scholarship note, Plan the Run has donated and has been our sponsor since the beginning. So we want to say thank you to Plan the Run for continually supporting us to help continue this 5K to continue. And I have looked into multiple running companies like Brooks or Nike, and they're not sponsors because they don't have if somebody knows wants to volunteer to kind of knock on the doors to some of these shoe companies and get a sponsorship, that would be awesome. But
New
I
Balance,
haven't.
come on, New Balance. You know,
New Balance.
you are the dad
Do they
shoe. Come on,
did they have running shoes though? Like
New Balance. Oh
of that
yeah.
level? I mean, they're like, well, they're dad shoes. They're not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, I love
Hey,
New
when I went into
Balance.
the Navy, they issue you New Balances because you use those when you're marching around during boot camp and stuff. So
Yeah.
yes, yeah, the New Balance shoes they'll hold up for a run.
Oh, it can't be boot camp. It's got to be obviously shoe camp. Obviously.
Wow.
Sorry,
Oh
Navy.
oh my gosh.
Yes, and to go off, Chris, Brandon Hamilton, is, who we spoke of earlier, he's the guy who runs Plan to Run. He's a coach out in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And yeah, Brandon is an amazing human. Just
True.
Yeah, fantastic guy.
Yeah.
He coaches actually a number of our dads. I know for certain that Matt Strain coaches with them and Nick Weiser. And they both have had great progress meeting their goals,
Right.
just continuing the habit, which is hard. I know me personally, I've had a coach in the past, and I mean, one of the big things they do is provide accountability, but definitely for beginners, they provide the path.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely. And there's more information about plantorun.com, and I'll make sure to put that in the show notes as well so that people can take a look at that if that's something that they're interested in getting involved in, like you mentioned with Matt and Nick being a part of that. Sweet, man. Well, hey guys, we really appreciate you coming on the show. It's so great to get to talk to you guys, especially to just understand a little bit about what's going on. Hopefully if somebody was on the fence about deciding whether or not they wanted to do the 5K, hopefully this is the thing that pushes them over the fence and hopefully doesn't hurt them when they fall off, but that they're able to run still. I always find that funny where you're like, yeah, man, if you're sitting on the fence, I hope this is the thing that pushes you over there. It's like, gosh, that's violent.
Yeah.
With my old man knees, I don't know if I'll
Right.
survive. So
Right.
don't push
Yeah.
me off the fence, please.
I've seen that where a guy jumps like out of the back of his truck and lands and he's dead. Yeah. Yeah. Come on.
At least if you're going to push me forward, so that way there's a better chance of me not falling and
Momentum.
hurting my back.
Yep.
Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. We look forward to running with you guys in Chicago and just seeing how that all plays out. And anybody that is wanting to know more information about that, you can go to our website, homedadcon.org. And you can also keep an eye on things through our Instagram, that area as well, because there'll be pictures and stuff posted when we're in Chicago of guys running. So definitely worth checking out. But other than that, we will talk to you guys all next week.
Thanks.
Not everybody.
Thanks for having
I'm
me.
a dad, that's what I do.